Hey y'all, it's Jessica from Gym City Homestead. Today I took a little trip to the library, which I'll show you in a minute, to get some books. I had to take some books back, so, gotta replace them. And just wanted to share with you some of the resources that I use during the winter when not a whole lot's going on in the garden. And, things that you can do as well if you're feeling anxious and itchy to start doing things out in the yard and it's just not time for you to do that yet. Going to the library and sourcing some books to build up your knowledge base in the meantime, that's a great option, and that's what I tend to do. So let's go. This is one of my local libraries, and I am so lucky that I have it so close to my house. So I immediately went in and went to the plant section because I was looking for books about gardening and about chickens. So down here I found the Big Chicken book, and I was gonna take a look at that, and eventually I do take a look at that. It's more of a memoir than what I was looking for, so I went ahead and passed on it. And then I found the book, The Stories Guide to Raising Chickens, which was a lot more along the lines of what I wanted, so I went ahead and put that aside. And then one of the struggles that I've been having is how I'm going to build this chicken coop. I've already bought plans on Etsy for one to build, but I think it might be a little bit outside of my skill set, so I'm trying to see if there's an easier or better way to make one. One of the other things that I'm looking to do this year is to increase my fruit production, because I don't really eat a whole lot of vegetables, but I love fruit. So just taking a look at all these books and seeing what I have here. I've looked at the Seed Garden book before, and it's awesome because it tells you everything you need to know about how to save seeds from dozens and dozens of different varieties. And the Square Foot Gardening book is kind of like the Bible when you're growing food in raised beds. But then I saw this one and I was like, yes, I want a fruit garden this year. So those are a couple of the books that I'm going to take a look at. And then I decided to switch over to the other side where all the cookbooks are, because I felt like I was missing some. And then I realized here are all of the Homesteading, off-grid, self-reliancy books. They're just right over here. So I started going through those. What I love about books like that is they have so much information. It is a little bit of an overview of a lot of things, but there's a lot of projects in there, ideas that I would never have even thought to consider. So I was really interested in taking a look at that, but I eventually put it back. I don't know if you saw down in the corner, but there's a book about meal planning down there. That's something I struggle with a lot, and I don't really do goal setting for New Year's, but if I did have one, it would be getting better at meal planning. And now I'm just seeing all of these books about how to preserve things, and that's something else that I'm really looking into getting into. So I saw this book about the homemade pantry, and this is the one that I couldn't remember when I'm listing them off later. Surprise! And I'm really excited about this book because every now and then I think, oh yes, I want to make sure that I just can make all of these things for myself, but I never really know where to start. So I'm hoping that book will help. And then of course I grabbed the Raising Chickens book, and I'm really excited because it has so much information in it about all the different breeds and did not end up taking this book home with me, but it was really nice to flip through during my time in the library because I was actually there during kind of a heavy rainstorm. So I got to look at that while I waited it out. And then again, the fruit tree book, I'm super excited about this. I have grapes, I have blueberries, I have strawberries, but I want more. Alright, y'all, so I am back from the library and I got a couple of books, as we saw. I got the one about growing fruit in containers, the one about everything you need to know about chickens, because that's the one that I went there for, and what was the other one I got? I'll have to go look again. So one of the things that I love about the library is obviously you can go into your local library and find the books that you need to find, but a lot of them now also have online libraries. So if you have a cell phone, you can download the Kindle app, or you can download, usually it's Libby and the other one is Hoopla. You can download those two apps. You have access to their entire online digital library as well, through your phone or through your tablet or through your computer, which is kind of miraculous. My library system has over 11 million books that I now have access to, and you really just can't put a price on that kind of knowledge and access to education and information. So I'm a huge, huge fan of that. I am also a big fan of plugging books for friends of mine, and my friend Allison also known as the Anxious Homesteader on TikTok and Instagram, she just released her book about how to garden and why you should garden when you experience mental health issues like anxiety or depression. And I had the opportunity to read it the other day, and I really enjoyed it. It's not a very long read, but what it is a lot of good information about the immediate questions you have when it comes to gardening. And it's a really great resource for when you're like, oh man, what do I do about this pest? Or what do I plant next to this and this? And like, is this okay? Is this gonna work? Instant answer right there. It's a really nice thing to reference and to look back on. So I'm going to link that. I'm going to put the cover of it right here, and then I'm going to link it down below in the description if you want to check that out. You know, all about supporting friends and good people. So I definitely hope that you check that out. Now, obviously, we have an endless resource called the internet, and you can, of course, always use the internet to, like, do the research that you need to do. One of the problems that I find with the internet, though, is there's so much misinformation. And so when it's condensed into one book, you know, it's been fact-checked, it's been edited, it's full of absolutely beautiful pictures most of the time, and you know, it still has more of an expert feel as opposed to someone's opinion on what you should be doing instead. So that's one of the reasons why I truly love going to the library, and why I think you should utilize that resource if you have access to one. And I think the other reason I really enjoy going to the library is it's always been a safe space for me. It's you know, when it's cold and dreary and rainy on days like today, curling up in the library has always been the dream. You know, it's where I felt safe, it's where I felt cozy, it's where I felt supported. Any question you have, there's a book, there's a librarian. You know, they're always so helpful and so kind, and I love books. I love books. So can't say enough about libraries. Anyway, if you've enjoyed this, I am shocked, but you know, good for you. Let's keep on keeping on and do the like and the subscribe and the share, and leave a comment down below about, you know, when's the last time you went to your library, or yeah, I want to know the last time you went to your library or used the services from your library, because it's not just the online ebooks, right? They also have access to law depots and other media sources, and if you're into like discovering more about your history and where your family comes from, you know, they have a lot of research materials for that. If you're just interested in the area that you live, they often have huge resources for documenting that history of your town or your village or your city. They're just an incredible resource. Tell me how you use your library below, and like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Thanks, Gems. Bye.